Good night, Tucville. Good night, Tucville. I understand that the PPP and some sort of rally around here the other night, and they bring out their big boy luncheon. I heard there were less people than the domino session by Stretch Shop on a slow night. I heard that some big speech, but the most intelligent person was our friend from around here. I think his name is Andrew or something, who had a little too much to drink, but was making more sense than Luncheon or Roy or Webster. As a young person, as a young mother, you know what I can't stand? I can't stand when the people from this government come to communities like this and then try to claim that they are responsible for the little progress you have seen ever since they came to power. I heard Webster was talking about how they have more cell phones in Tucville since they came to power, as if the PPPC owns Samsung or Digicel or iPhone or something. I heard this is a government that is ready and willing to take credit for everything, except their selfishness and incompetence. I wasn't here, and neither were many of you, but I can tell you one none of them talked about. None of them spoke about the fact that this neighborhood has not significantly changed in 23 years since they came to power. While they built a whole two new luxury communities just for themselves, Pradoville 1 and Pradoville 2. I spoke to some people from around this community, and every time it rains, the place is flooded. There are streets in this community that haven't seen repair since the PPP came to power. Yet in places that they feel they will get votes guaranteed, every year is a new road. Of course, considering the quality of roads built by their own kickback contractors, sometimes the same place needs the same road done every year. What none of them spoke about is that while your young people have to make do with the poor paying jobs, if it is that they can't even get a job in the first place. Their children getting first preference for jobs they are not even qualified for. Some young men from this community, you slip up 1 or 2 times and you get fired from your little mason job. The president's son messed up on $1 billion fiber optic cable funded by your taxpayer money. And he's still there quietly collecting millions of dollars every month. What they didn't talk about is your electricity bill or your GWI bill, because at the end of the month, none of them has to worry about GPL, the GPL man or the water man coming and knock at their doors. Luncheon was accusing persons of being licorice and scraven while standing next to Webster, who spent over $1 million of your money on our teeth. Our youth leader, Chris Jones, accused Pauline Sukai of having $1 million in her mouth, but Webster comfortably get a second-hand 212 in Shion. That is how these people are spending your money on themselves. It is time for change, young people. I spent 23 years of my 25 years under this government, and this is not a country I want my daughter to grow up with. As young people, we have been facing hard truths, and I am no different. I know what it is like to have no future. I know what it is like to feel like I am marking time, and no matter how I fight to move forward, it is always 1 step forward and 10 steps backward. Let me tell you a story, but Chris Jones already told you that story, but I'll still tell you. It is about a young woman, a young girl, who thought that all she has to do was work hard and get an education, and she would be able to live a comfortable life in her country that she loves so much. So she did her part. She struggled through school. At first it seemed like her efforts might pay off. She entered employment in a government office and worked hard to prove herself. It turns out that that wasn't enough. When her political affiliation became known, she was victimized and pushed out. Since then, she has struggled to find employment. The truth is, my friends, this is my story. But this is not only my story, it is the story of many young people who have lost hope. It is the story of many young people who can't dare to dream beyond their next meal. It is the story of so many young people who feel like they will never be able to share in the wealth of this beautiful country. The wealth of our country does not belong to a corrupt few. My friends, this is the hard truth that is facing young people of this land under the PPPC administration. The future of our young people is bleak under the PPPC, and for many it's even worse than I have described. The truth is that the current ruling party does not care about educating the youths of this country. Our children need a chance to have a quality education so that they can grow up into productive citizens. But what kind of education can they get in schools that are falling apart, that don't have enough teachers and don't have proper facilities? My friends, have you been following the recent issues at the University of Guyana? The highest institution of learning in this land. At the only university named for our country, there is hardly any running water. The bathrooms are unsanitary. Animals go to classrooms with students. Students' dorm rooms are broken into and vandalized, and their property is stolen. Students are bitten by snakes. There are more students than chairs in the classrooms, and there is little to no equipment available for the lecturers. My friends, people of Tucville, would you believe me if I tell you that this government cannot provide sticks of chalks? From nursery to primary, this is what your young people who want to educate themselves are facing. What they are saying to us is that education has no value to them. And this is the progress the PPPC wants to continue. Will we allow them to continue with this progress? My friends, it is my humble opinion that if the Minister of Education and the ministers in our government offices and the President of Guyana are not willing to protect our children's future, then they should not be there. Are we going to put them back there? What are the other truths, my friends? The truth is that the PPPC has failed miserably in providing employment for youths in this country. Take a look at the street corners. How many unemployed young people do you see there? It is not that our young people don't want to work. Many of them can't find any work. Many of them have the skills and the knowledge to be strong and competent. But job creation has been neglected. People want dignity of doing well in their chosen area of work and earning a solid income from it. My friends, people of Tucville area, even those who are able to find work are underpaid. Now tell me, can a minimum wage of $35,000 a month pay your rent, your light bill, your water bill, feed and clothe your family and children? Can that minimum wage of $30,000, $30,000, think about it, feed you and your children for that month? I don't think so. If this is the future we are promising our young people, is this the future we are promising our young people and citizens of this country? We are unemployed, underpaid, and we are fed up. Are we fed up? Yes. So on May 11th, what are we going to do? Vote them out. Young people fed up. And it is time for a change. Young people in this community are not getting jobs. Yet the government spent US 56 million, 3 billion Guyana dollars of our money me and you money on a Marriott, and not a single young Guyanese was employed there. Not one. How many skilled young masons and carpenters, electricians and plumbers could have been employed on a project that they claim is for Guyanese? That, my friends, is the hard truth. They say they care about our children. The truth is, the members of the PPPC need to look up the meaning of the word care. How can you say you care about the children and our young people when our communities look like the city that God forgotten? Our streets are filled with potholes. Buildings like the gymnasium are falling apart. The drains, trenches, and parapets are not maintained unless we do it ourselves. There is no place where children can run and play. Many of us still dealing with flood water in our homes when the rain falls. Mosquito eating us for tea, breakfast, and dinner. In this day and age, people are still fetching water. And even every 2 morning is a blackout. Even just now to get people over there blackout. This is what we are forced to raise our children in. Young people tired, hopeless under the PPPC, and fed up, and it is time for them to go. The truth is, we are ready for change. The season is ripe for a new government. A government that truly cares about the people of Guyana. Friends, I believe that government is the APNU-AFC Alliance. They have come together, and we are coming together as Guyanese, one people for a better day, for our beloved country. It is time. The APNU-AFC government will transform the education sector into a 5-star national institution that puts our young people front and center in the march towards Guyana's development. A caring APNU-AFC government will provide employment for youths and all citizens through the encouraging and financial support of entrepreneurial ventures, diversifying of the economy, and efficient management of state-owned resources and industries. It is time. The APNU-AFC government is determined to build a society free of violence, fear, intimidation, hatred, patronage, corruption, and funded on justice, fairness, openness, transparency, and dignity and equality. Today, there is too much neighbor against neighbor, brother against brother, parents against child, politicians against politicians, and public servants against public servants. And we have all suffered from it. We are better together. We are better with an APNU-AFC government. It is time. Are we going to vote May 11th for an APNU-AFC government? Yes, it is time. I thank you.